Okay, I'm going to be doing a hand history review of a hand I just played in a 1,000 hand session at 10 NL Zoom on PokerStars. I'm just getting back into the game and working out a few spots, and I thought this hand was quite interesting, so I thought I'd give it a look over. I haven't done one of these in a while, so yeah, might not be the cleanest evaluation, and I haven't been over it so far already, so I'm just going to sort of go as we look. So, under the gun, who I have effectively zero hands on, makes it 3x, and I've only thing I know about this guy is that I played a hand with him on another table previously, and he has had quite a lot of money on that table. He had like $50 on that table. He has $26 in this table, and I don't remember playing any hands with him, obviously, because I haven't got any hands on it with him. But in that hand, we played a 3-bet pot, and he ended up folding to a turn bet. So he called a C bet and folded to a turn bet. So I know nothing about him other than that, which means very little. So I think with jacks against anybody, this is just going to be a 3-bet. I make it 110. This probably could be maybe 120, but I think that's just absolutely fine as well. And we get folds all the way around back to him, and he elects to call. So I think, apart from maybe my raise could have been a little bit more, especially because the stacked pot ratio in this hand is quite large. I could have made this maybe more in the region of 120, 130, potentially even 140. But 110 is okay, and I don't think it merits too much discussion. We see 2, 5, 8, 2 clubs. And he checks to me, as I expect him to do with all of his hands. And I have a decision here, which is fairly easy, I believe, which is just to c-bet for value. Absolutely no sense in giving free cards here. Going to get called by, tens, nines, overcard floats that I don't want to give free cards to. So this is just a standard bet. Again, don't want to spend too much time on that. This is my general size against in a 3-bet pot. But again, on reflection, this could be larger based on the stack sizes. And we see a raise to 320 quite quickly, if I recall. Now, I'm not in the business of folding this at this point. I think that I can beat quite a lot of hands if we think about his range. Obviously, we're going to see 8s. I don't expect to see 5s or deuces. 3, 4, 6, 7. Don't expect to see a great deal of that either. Calling 3-bet out of position again. But then again, we do have a lot of chips, and he did raise under the gun, so I'm going to rule those out as well. 10s and 9s aren't going to be doing this kind of thing. Then you're left with some maybe funky overcard hands, and then obviously the large flush suited hands. I think ace 10 of clubs. Probably not ace king of clubs. I expect to get 4-bet pre with ace king of clubs. But ace 10 for sure. Probably queen 10. I would have thought king queen of clubs. Ace queen of clubs. Maybe I get 4-bet, but probably for under the gun burst, under the gun +1. I maybe don't. So that's pretty much what I expect to see. That of his range there, and mine is obviously over pairs and ace king and stuff like that. So I don't see any way I can call against. I have quite a few hands that I can beat there that I've listed. So just going to call and evaluate, expecting to not enjoy too much of what's going to go on the next few streets against this particular player. 10s and 9 of spades, which doesn't fill any flushes. And he elects to bet around half the pot, which is $4.70. I think again, same reasoning as on the flop. I don't expect him to have 9s here, which is the only thing based on my flop analysis that he won't have 6, 7. I don't expect this card to have changed too much. Certainly not going to be doing what he did with 9s. That would just be a check call on the flop. So no nines, no 6-7, same read as a flop. One thing to note here that I maybe could have mentioned earlier is that I have the Jack of Clubs, which I'd prefer not to have, just so that he can have more overcard club hands like Ace Jack of Clubs, Jack Ten of Clubs, Queen Jack of Clubs, King Jack of Clubs. That would be a significant part of his range as well. There's quite a few combos there that I nullify. So I'd prefer not to have it, but at the same time, same analysis as on the flop. I think that's 6, 7, and 9s are super unlikely here based on his actions so far, and still thinking that I would be a very strange line with. I don't think I've seen many people at this level play Queens Plus like this. So I'm at this point. I remember thinking I really like my hand at this point, and yeah, I decided to just call based on that, and I think that I've made it quite clear why that was my favorite decision there. River's a 6 of spades, and he elects to punt, which I normally would get to this point. I think that I was playing with quite a lot of clarity at this point. I was feeling quite focused, and I normally would see this river bet and think, fuck my life. I'm not thrilled about this at all, and it's not my favorite. But actually, when you break it down and think about this, what this river bet represents, or what he's trying to represent with this river bet, I really don't think that he has too many value hands that would take this line. I spoke about 9s, 8s. I gave him on the flop, and a player that's quite good, I would expect to maybe be able to take this line with 8s, thinking that I probably won't have many 7s or any 7s. So 8s is definitely something that I lose to. But then again, I don't think everybody ships 8s in here. I don't think everybody's that good at this level to be shipping 8s in here. So realistically, what do we lose to that does this? I've been over his range so far. I didn't give him 6, 7. I don't give him, at this point now that a 7 beats me, I don't give him any 7s really at all. Let me think. I mean, I just don't think there's any 7s that raise under the gun, and call a 3-bet, and then check raise the flop. Like, what 7s are we thinking there? 7-6. I really don't think that's a very profitable play, which I've ruled that out. Well, completely ruled it out, but I would say it's unlikely. Any other 7s? A7? No, I wouldn't have thought so. That seems fairly obviously losing play. It's not beyond the realms of possibility, but not really. Like I've said, Queens Plus, no. Does it play it like this? Even if he decided to slow play pre, no, I don't think so. So what 7s does he really have? And with the small amount of value hands that he has here, like I said, 8s, maybe a 6, 7. Don't think an A7. Certainly not Queens Plus. Maybe 9, 8. Maybe 9, 8 suited. I could see maybe playing like this. But then again, also, do I expect him to jam 9, 8 every single time he gets to this river? I mean, I've been out of the game for a little bit, so I mean, I think I would probably jam 8, 9 here. But again, call it raising out of the gun and calling with 8, 9. I suppose it's like a kind of half likely, but I still think that the majority of his value range is very thin. I think he has a lot of the Ace X of clubs, Ace 10 plus of clubs, maybe even Ace 9 that he's turning into a bluff of clubs, maybe Queen King Queen of clubs, Queen 10. Stuff like that is just too many of those hands in his range that I'd be even just random overcards that he decided to take to the streets. Due to those reasons, I don't think that this is ever allowed to be a fold. I just think that my hand seems quite face up based on how I've played it. He's thinking that this is the only way to get me off the hand. His bet sizing is honestly very, very nice. You can see how this river bet looks really, really quite solid. Maximum pressure. But I remember thinking when it went in, my thought process was quite clear through the hand. I just don't see many hands that I lose to here for value, and I see just as many, if not more, combos of things of high club hands or random high card hands that just make this a fairly easy call, I think. Which I'm fairly confident in. I'm definitely more than willing to hear thoughts about that. But yeah, I think this is just a call for those reasons. I do go ahead and call, and he has the king 10 of clubs. Obviously, I could have run into something big here, but I honestly do think that based on that range analysis, I stand a pretty good chance of being good more often than not. And yeah, I don't see that there being a fold. So yeah, thanks for listening. I'll maybe do a few more of these. Helps me with understanding and looking over ranges, gets me thinking about the game more, and hopefully playing better in the future. So any thoughts are much appreciated, and maybe see you next time. Thank you.